Nightly Report. Today is November 23rd, 2024. Kazakhstan held its inaugural Steppe Symphony Festival today in Almaty, celebrating traditional Kazakh music and contemporary compositions inspired by the vast Central Asian steppes. The event attracted musicians from neighboring countries, fostering regional cultural collaboration. Performances included renditions of ancient dombra melodies alongside orchestral pieces that integrate traditional instruments. Attendees described the festival as a harmonious blend of heritage and innovation. Organizers aim to make it an annual event, promoting Kazakhstan's cultural identity on a global stage. However, logistical issues such as limited seating and food shortages caused some frustration among festival goers. Despite these hiccups, the event was widely regarded as a cultural success. Costa Rica announced plans to construct an underwater sculpture park off its Caribbean coast, aimed at promoting marine conservation and ecotourism. The park will feature sculptures made from environmentally safe materials designed to attract marine life and restore coral ecosystems. Environmentalists praised the initiative, which will also provide a new attraction for scuba divers and snorkelers. However, some fishermen voiced concerns over potential restrictions on fishing areas. Construction is set to begin next year, with the project expected to take 3 years to complete. Officials hope the park will not only boost tourism, but also serve as a model for sustainable development in the region. Montenegro is embroiled in a heated political dispute over a proposed infrastructure development project that had divided the country's political landscape. The project, initiated by the ruling Democratic Party of Socialists, DPS, aims to construct a new highway connecting the coastal city of Bar to the northern region of Bielopolye. Supporters of the project, led by the DPS, argue that the highway will boost economic growth, reduce travel times, and improve regional connectivity. Prime Minister Danilo Markovic described the project as a once-in-a-generation opportunity to modernize the country's aging infrastructure and attract foreign investment. However, the opposition coalition, primarily the Democratic Front, DF, has fiercely criticized the project, alleging corruption in the tendering process and a lack of transparency in the government's dealings with foreign contractors. Opposition leaders claim the highway will saddle Montenegro with unsustainable debt and disproportionately benefit a small circle of political allies. Public sentiment is deeply divided. In urban areas, many residents view the highway as a necessary development to compete with neighboring countries. Conversely, environmentalists and rural communities have raised concerns about deforestation and displacement caused by the construction. Protests have erupted in both Bar and Bielopolye, with demonstrators clashing over the project's merits. In Parliament, the debate has been particularly rancorous. A recent session descended into chaos as MPs exchanged heated accusations, with opposition leaders staging a walkout in protest. Meanwhile, international observers have urged Montenegro's government to ensure transparency and address public concerns. The controversy over the highway project underscores broader tension in Montenegro's polarized political climate. Analysts warn that if a resolution is not reached, the issue could escalate further, potentially destabilizing the government ahead of next year's elections. Lithuania is experiencing a surge in visitors to its Soviet-era landmarks as interest in quote-unquote dark history tourism rises globally. Sites like Krutus Park, showcasing Soviet sculptures and the former KGB prison in Vilnius, have seen record attendance this year. While the trend has provided an economic boost, some locals remain uneasy about monetizing a painful chapter of their history. Cultural experts argue that such tourism can foster greater understanding, provided it is handled with sensitivity. The government has announced plans to expand educational programs at these sites, aiming to strike a balance between tourism and historical reflection. Zimbabwe launched a pilot program for mobile grain banks to help rural communities store surplus harvests and combat food insecurity. The banks, essentially storage facility on wheels, are designed to reach remote areas lacking access to permanent granaries. The initiative, funded by international donors, has been praised for its innovative approach to addressing hunger in drought-prone regions. However, logistical challenges such as road conditions and vehicle maintenance remain a concern. If successful, the program could be scaled up to other regions, providing a critical safety net for small-scale farmers. Moving on to markets. Green Pave Asphalt Solutions, stock symbol GPS, rose 1.2%, closing at $35.78. The company has been in the spotlight following its recent unveiling of a recyclable asphalt mix, which could reduce road construction costs. Analysts remain optimistic about the firm's long-term prospects as sustainability becomes a key industry driver. Green Pave is also eyeing international markets with plans to collaborate on pilot projects in Southeast Asia, where urban development is rapidly accelerating. The company's CEO highlighted that these ventures could open doors to significant government contracts, further boosting their revenue streams. Neotext Inc., stock symbol NTX, a digital publishing platform, gained 0.9% today, ending at $14.56. The company's recent focus on AI-generated audiobooks has sparked interest from investors, though critics question the quality of the output. Neotext has announced plans to expand into new markets, including Asia. Additionally, the firm is developing a subscription-based model aimed at educators, offering academic texts and research papers in audio formats. This initiative is expected to diversify their audience base while creating steady, recurring revenue streams. Harvestly Organic Products, stock symbol HOP, saw a slight decline of 0.3%, closing at $22.14. The company is grappling with supply chain disruptions caused by extreme weather affecting its key suppliers in South America. Despite this, its recent entry into the plant-based protein sector is seen as a positive diversification strategy. Harvestly's leadership has also emphasized investments in vertical farming to mitigate future disruptions. By incorporating advanced technology in controlled environments, the company aims to secure a more reliable supply chain for organic produce. Urban Mobility Systems, stock symbol UMS, dropped 1.5%, closing at $19.92. The company recently faced backlash over delays in its electric scooter rollout in European cities. Executives have promised to resolve the issues, but consumer confidence remains shaky. UMS has since announced plans to revamp its customer service infrastructure, including a 24/7 helpline for technical issues. They also plan to introduce software updates to improve scooter performance, hoping to regain trust in key markets. Blue Sea Aquaculture, stock symbol BSA, gained 0.7%, closing at $27.68. The company announced a new partnership with a major local hotel chain to supply premium seafood. The deal is expected to significantly boost Blue Sea's revenue in the hospitality sector. In addition, Blue Sea is expanding its sustainable farming initiatives, particularly focusing on new breeding techniques for shrimp and lobster. Experts believe these efforts could position the company as a leader in high-quality, eco-friendly aquaculture. Shares of Sunport Energy, stock symbol SPE, surged 3.8% today, closing at $42.12 after the solar energy provider reported record-breaking revenue in its third quarter earnings report. The company cited a sharp increase in demand for its residential solar panel systems, driven by rising energy prices and government subsidies in key markets such as United States and Germany. Sunport's CEO, Carla Medina, highlighted the success of the company's latest product line, the Soulmate Ultra, which offers higher efficiency and durability compared to competitors. We have seen extraordinary customer adoption, particularly in regions where energy grids are under strain, Medina said during an investor call. The company also announced plans to expand production capacity at its facilities in Texas and Poland to meet growing demand. Analysts are optimistic about Sunport's growth trajectory, particularly as more countries adopt renewable energy policies. The company has recently entered the South American market, beginning with Brazil and Chile, where government incentives for solar energy installations have created a fertile environment for expansion. Additionally, Sunport has been exploring partnerships with electric vehicle manufacturers to integrate solar charging solutions into home energy systems. Despite the positive news, some concerns linger over supply chain challenges and rising production costs, which could squeeze margins in the coming quarters. However, investors remain bullish, viewing Sunport as a key player in the global shift towards sustainable energy. Industry experts suggest the stock has significant upside potential, particularly if the company continues to innovate and expand into new markets. Moving on to sports. In the Czech National Hockey League, HC Plzeň triumphed over HC Olomouc 3-2 in overtime. A tightly contested match, it was decided by a power play goal in the final minutes. Both teams showed solid defense, but Plzeň persistence paid off. The victory moves HS Plzeň into fourth place within striking distance of playoff spot. HC Olomouc, however, lamented their missed opportunities, with their coach citing poor execution during crucial moments as a key issue. Bolivar defeated Oriente Petrolera 1-0 in a slow-paced Bolivian Football League match. The lone goal came from a penalty kick in the 70th minute. Fans described the game as routine, but appreciated the effort from both sides. Bolivar's win strengthens their lead in the league standings, while Oriente Petrolera faces an uphill battle to avoid relegation. Analysts have suggested Oriente needs a stronger offensive strategy to secure crucial points in the remaining matches. In Serbian basketball, Partizan Belgrade edged past FMP with a 79-76 victory. The game remained neck and neck until the final buzzer, with both teams relying heavily on outside shooting. The win helps Partizan maintain their lead in the standings. The match showcased emerging talent, with Partizan's 19-year-old guard scoring a career-high 22 points. FMP's coach expressed pride in his team's resilience, but admitted that their defensive lapses in the final quarter cost them the game. Connacht defeat Munster 15-10 in a windy Irish rugby provincial match. The game was marred by handling errors, but Connacht's superior kicking gave them the edge. Fans noted the challenging conditions made for an unremarkable match. This victory puts Connacht in third place, keeping them in contention for the provincial title. Munster, on the other hand, faces criticism from fans for their lackluster offensive play and inability to adapt to adverse weather conditions. In Japan's J2 League, Mito Hollyhock drew 2-2 with Ventforet Kofu in a game notable for two late equalizers. The crowd's subdued reactions reflected the season's lackluster performances from both teams. The result leaves both teams stranded in mid-table with little hope of promotion this season. Coaches for both sides stressed the need for improved fitness and sharper tactics as they prepare for next year. In Bogota's Challenger tournament, a first-round match between Eduardo Perez of Argentina and local wildcard Santiago Morales turned into a grueling display of mishits, double faults, and unforced errors, leaving spectators more puzzled than entertained. Perez eventually secured a 6-4, 3-6, 7-5 victory, but the quality of play was widely criticized, with both players struggling to maintain consistency throughout the 2-hour affair. The match featured an astonishing 18 double faults from Morales and 14 from Perez, leading to frequent service breaks and little rhythm in the gameplay. Unforced errors dominated the rallies, with Morales misfiring simple forehands into the net and Perez spraying routine backhands wide. At one point, a 14-shot rally ended with both players simultaneously stopping midpoint, confused about the score. Fans on site commented that the errors seemed contagious, with neither player able to string together a coherent stretch of play. While Perez managed to scrape through, his post-match interview reflected little satisfaction. "I am happy to win, but I didn't play well. It was a tough day for both of us," he admitted. Morales, visibly dejected, remarked that the high-altitude conditions in Bogota made serving particularly challenging, but analysts point out that such struggles are not uncommon for players at this level. Both competitors will need to significantly improve their form if they hope to advance in future tournaments. This concludes tonight's World Nightly Report. If you are still awake, probably listen to another episode. Like, share, comment. Somnify is out.